It's my last show of this post-election week and my last show for 3 weeks. I'm off on holidays. So I'm in a reflective mood. What have we learned? What should we learn from this amazing election result? Or can we learn anything from a result that was actually so close and so unexpected?
I have always believed in miracles.
Who knows, maybe it was indeed a miracle gifted to a man who must have prayed for one when everything looked lost. And miracles are beyond understanding, aren't they? But there is, in fact, a very good reason to take every explanation for what happened with a little bit of scepticism. The Liberals did win, yes, but not actually by that much. If just 1 or 2 Australians out of every 100 had voted the other way on Saturday, we'd be hearing a totally different conversation. Not all this talk about everything that Labor's done wrong, but about everything the Liberals have stuffed up. But life isn't that binary. Not really, shouldn't be. I mean, politics sure isn't. And when the result is almost 50-50, we can say that both sides made mistakes and both sides did good things. So it's wrong, for instance, to now say that everything Labor did must change. So watch out for people pushing hobby horses. Was that reason and this reason? Including people like me, maybe. But likewise, the government can't gloat too much. 6 out of 10 Australians gave their vote, their first preference vote, to someone else. Labor, Greens, Hanson, Palmer, whatever. But that said, I still think there are some lessons here. And here are a few that have struck me this week. You know, like that favourite idea of the media, that a political party that sacks its Prime Minister is really going to pay. Flirting with disaster, sacking Turnbull. Oh, shocking thing. Funny, they never said that when the Liberals sacked Tony Abbott. Oh, disaster. But really, sacking Prime Ministers is bad? You tell that to the Liberals today. Sacking Turnbull worked just fine. Exactly like Labor sacking even the great Bob Hawke. That worked. Paul Keating won the next election. And then there's the polls, of course. We're all saying, oh, we trusted them too much. They're all wrong. And confession, I didn't expect the Liberals to win. But at least I was consistent in explaining why Labor should not be allowed to win. The wrong policies. And that's made me think, you know, good. Let's not have trust in polls, even if they didn't actually, maybe they didn't make a big mistake. But put that out there. Let's not trust the polls, because it would actually be a good thing for journalists to trust polls less. They might make them slower to judge policies and politicians by whether they're instantly popular in the polls. Might be actually good to talk more about whether those policies and politicians are right for the country. Use a bit more judgment. For instance, Labor's global warming policies. And about them, actually, I reckon this election also shows that we're at the point where global warming policies seem to scare just as many voters as does the global warming scare itself. In fact, I'd say probably get more voters scared of higher power prices than of any rising seas. And here's another thing, the gender game. The gender game. Labor made such a big thing about having, OK, yes, they had a male leader, but also a female deputy, and so many female ministers, senior ones, lots more than the Liberals. And yet this woke party was beaten by a party led by 2 white blokes, Morrison and Deputy Josh Frydenberg. Turns out, big surprise, for most voters, what counts is not whether a political party promotes, say, 12 women as ministers, but what that party does for the other 12 million Australian women. You know, don't show voters what you are, show them what you'll do for them. Now, a couple of more things. I'm glad glad this election result has now got Labor thinking, wait, how come we on the left are scaring Christians? And then there's that other idea that was pushed for far too long by the media, especially when Scott Morrison replaced Malcolm Turnbull as Prime Minister, that the Liberals are now too far to the right, unelectable. Again, it's when the Liberals were too far to the left that they were unelectable, under Turnbull. Under Morrison, order restored, much better. And lastly, one great lesson, nastiness. It does often backfire in politics. Take this new bullying culture of the left, the screaming, the abuse, the blockades, the physical attacks, even on the Prime Minister. That sure did backfire this time. Of course, a bully likes to see all these Conservatives being scared into shutting up, and a lot do shut up. They get scared so much, they won't even tell a pollster how they'll vote on the Saturday. But most Australians don't actually like that kind of stuff, and they end up resenting bullies. And the one place that you can't shut them up is in the ballot box. That's the beauty of democracy.